Broadcasting live from sunny South Florida and the best way to start your Saturday. This is KMA Talk Radio. Life, liberty, and the pursuit of fine cigars. And now your KMA crew. The man with the scoop, William Cooper. Alex the Goat Tavella. And always telling it like it is, Honest Abe Dababneh.
I like to smoke them like the Winston Churchill. Like John Kennedy, yeah. Remember Coach Red Auerbach, smoked up for victory, yeah. Well, you can take my wife, you can take my car, but you can't take my big cigar. My cigar, yeah.
Good morning to all our loyal listeners, libertarians, and lovers of the leaf. Honest Abe here, and we're broadcasting KMA episode number 609 live. And as always, I'm here with my trusted KMA crew, the man we like to call the GOAT, Alex Tavella, our dear friend, always bringing us industry news, rumor, and teaser-free, William the Scoop Cooper, and none other than our dear friend joining us, as always, on these fine Saturday mornings, the man we call the Godfather, Fred Rui.
Hello.
Rui. Hey, Fred.
Good morning, genitalia.
Good morning. Give me a number between 1 and 3 so I know what I'm smoking today.
2.
All right, got it.
Well, now
Obviously.
share. What are you smoking?
I am, it's from Oz Family Cigars. It's the Bosphorus.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, there you go.
Coop, what are
There
you
you go.
lighting up?
I'm telling you, I'm smoking something I've been really hooked on. It's a new release, and it's one that really caught me by surprise. From Portello Cigars, it's the Puro 1821, all Dominican tobacco, and it's good. I've really been impressed with this.
I haven't tried it yet.
Yeah, I've been very impressed with this cigar.
Alex, you lighting up this morning?
Yes, I'm actually having a change it up a little bit, little Knuckle Sammy, Connecticut this morning.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
No AJ Fernandez, huh?
Well,
He makes that.
I think he makes. Actually,
True.
yes, AJ Fernandez.
True. Truth be told.
That was literally number 1. If you had to pick number 1, was an AJ Fernandez.
Well, you said between 1 and 3. There's only one fucking number between 1 and 3, Fred.
Oh, come on, really? We're starting out like that?
Between 1 and 3. Well, it only leaves 2.
What some of our KMA fans are smoking out there today. I'm lighting up, as if anybody would wonder.
What are you lighting up?
What is
Oh, is that the Miami?
The El Mago Vice.
El Mago Vice.
El Mago Vice. Is that
That's the new
Miami
one.
Vice? Miami Vice?
Mago
Yeah,
Vice.
well, it's just
No,
Mago.
no.
It's just Mago
Is that
Vice.
you? Is that you on there?
Yes. Have you not been following this, Cooper? Did you not see these posts yesterday? Yes.
Apparently
Mago
that's-
Vice.
I did not see it.
Apparently, that's not in Coop's news today.
Right?
And listen,
No,
I have to say something.
it's been a crazy week, to be honest with you. Yeah,
I gotta-
And it has nothing to do with Miami
There it is.
Vice. Not even close.
There it
There's whatever
Not
you
even
see
close.
in there does not exist as far as Miami Vice knockoff.
Yes.
This I'm not gonna lie. All right, this has got to be one of the funnest projects.
It's pretty cool.
Look how
It
cool.
It's
that
very
is.
cool. It's very cool.
So how this happened is, I mean, look, we've had a history, and just so you know, the graphics on the tube are different on every side, and there's a theme to them. We'll let people figure that out for themselves. But this was a fun project. I mean, look, we always like working on projects with our manufacturing friends, and Nick and El Mago brand has been on our radar for a while, and he's built quite the community. You know, here at Smoke Inn, we're a fan of his cigars. So I really wanted to do something Miami based, Miami themed. And, for our generation, I mean, what says it more than Mago
Right.
Vice? So, and this was really more of a collaborated effort than most. I mean, look, we have projects where like we work with Padron and Fuente and we get what we get. Like, there's no input. There's no creativity. I mean, we get what we get. And then, there's certain people we can have a little bit more fun with, like Big Delicious with Matt Booth or like this project. So, you know, I came up with the Mago Vice theme, and Nick and his team came up with an original rendition of what it would look like. And then my team took over from there. I just rather have him focus on what he does best, which was the blend. And we kind of finished this collaboratively together. And it was a fun project. And he made a great blend for us. I mean,
listen,
really
I got to tell you, and look, everybody knows I only like halfway work for smoking at this point, so I don't have to be biased. This is my favorite Mago. Abe hadn't even had one yet. Nick gave me one. I came out and I told him at the Great Smoke, I said, this is my
I literally
favorite
said, how the fuck did you get one?
That's what he said to me. I said, this is my favorite El Mago to date. I'm excited for this release.
Yeah, me too. And, you know, we made a poster. This photograph.
It's pretty cool.
We had visions of grandeur.
Yeah.
This photograph was actually planned when we were going to go down to Miami.
We're going to do it, right?
We were going to do a real photo shoot, and we were going to find the same car from the original, you know, poster from the show and kind of replicate it. And, you know, we just ran out of time. So, you know, thank God for AI. AI came up with a couple renditions of, you know, actually my team polished up this AI really good. And we made a poster. So Nick and I actually have signed hundreds and hundreds of posters. So
fun.
Yeah, this drops. They're actually a cool looking poster. And what people didn't know was it was an Easter egg in our post credit scene of The Great Smoke. If you look at the post credits, well, you know, we have a post credit scene every year of The Great Smoke. You know, a lot of people don't.
Yeah. But I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, where Alex and I were sitting, right above is El Mago. Poster.
Yeah. Okay.
So we kind of teased it there a little bit, but yeah, we just figured it'd be a cool little souvenir. We signed a bunch of posters, you know, Mago Vice posters, and anybody who places an order for at least a box will get a poster with their order, and it drops Monday at noon. So for anybody,
you know, I gotta give Nick credit, and gotta give us some credit, because in reality, if you go back to when we first brought Nick in, more often than not, that he wouldn't have. He got in based on Nick. He was a local guy. I don't think he made it out of Florida yet. What?
You know how we ended up having a meeting with Nick?
How?
Groover.
I was 100%. No, Groover.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Outside
he wouldn't even have been in our radar.
No, Nick meeting Nick, and it was like, you know what, this guy gets. And this was before he ever made it to PC. Like I said, I don't even think he had accounts outside of Florida. But,
you know what people don't.
That guy hit the ground running too. Good for him. Got to give him credit.
What people don't realize is we just don't really just bring a brand in to bring a brand in. It's a lot of effort on our part, because when we do bring a brand in, we want it to be successful. And, you know, you can't just throw it on the shelf and expect people to start buying it. So, you know, we want to give it our team effort. But I will actually talk to an owner, and Alex will tell you, I've finished talking to an owner multiple times, and yeah, we're not bringing that brand in.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's not how good is it? Where's it? Is it popular anywhere? Where's it selling? Does it have any legs?
Even that, just what's your vision? How do you see things
right.
work? I mean, I've literally talked to half a dozen companies in the last few years, and I'm like, yep, we're going to pass on that brand, just because I could tell he doesn't see where he needs to go to actually make a brand, and it's going to be a rough patch, and, you know, we just don't want to make. It's an investment. We don't want to make a bad investment. And that's kind of how we look at things. We didn't bring in Mayflower just because it was Michael Knowles. Michael Knowles and I sat on the phone, talked for 30 minutes. You know, I really wanted to know what he knew about the cigar business. Was he just going to be another face, you know, and whatever. And, you know, after talking to him, we made the decision, yeah, we're going to bring this brand in. I think, you know, this
I can, having been in that chair in your office in 2013, I can say 100% that was the most bizarre one, because most of the conversation was vision for the company, not the cigar. The cigars taste great. That's fine. You know, and I mean, yeah, 100% what you're saying. I was so impressed by that meeting. Luckily I did make the cut and my cigars came in, but it makes a better part of the story of which group I'm relating to. But yeah, no, I was amazed how much non-cigar specific questions were out there, you know, as far as vision and things like that.
That's the biggest struggle, because these guys come in, and I get it. I feel for them. You know, they've put their, you know, in their minds, they put their blood, sweat, and tears, and they've made this Picasso, and they're coming to me like, you know, here, you know, try this masterpiece. Right. But that's not it. You know, you can make the world, but if you can't communicate that, if you can't build the following, if you can't get people to even try your cigar, what's the point? and I could do some work. We have tools like Cigar of the Month Club and stuff like that'll get it out there for you.
Right.
But
you got,
I can't tell you how many times. Two perfect examples, and I'll say it right now. George Rico is one. George Rico is one. Here's a situation where I like a guy. We actually get along. I've given his company a couple tries in my shop. It always kind of fizzles out, and then we bought him in again. And it was his 20th anniversary.
It was the 20th in the COTM, and it hit like a storm.
Hit like a storm. Everybody raving about it. And I was messaging him, bro, you need to get involved. You need to start interacting with these consumers because, like, the lightning bolt hit. Right. This is the time you want to. Yeah, and peanuts, crickets, nothing. And, another one that I'm seeing is hitting right now a lot. And I actually messaged, Juan Lopez is
I told you that Gurkha.
That Gurkha Volition.
The Gurkha that was in the TGS box, the Volition is getting.
Yeah, a lot of people are raving about it. I messaged Juan. I said, Juan, a lot of people are talking about this. You need to,
a lot of people,
get in the group. And if the guy I'm talking to doesn't have that kind of vision, then it's an uphill battle. I'm swimming upstream because there's things I could do, but if you can't harness, any traction when you finally get, there are guys who die for a little traction, right? They would do anything to say, man, I would just like get a little traction. And then when you finally get it and can't harness it and ride
that's
it.
The thing too. And let's be honest, Gurkha's already swimming upstream. I mean, because literally the posts were, guys, don't pass on this in the box because it's a Gurkha. This is actually good. That was the post. Which was like.
It's funny because Abe, you and I have talked about it. I mean, we're at the point of been around long enough that we probably have. I have at least one every week. I'm sure you have more of people going, "Hey, I'm getting in the industry. I'm doing this," or I just started my brand. Every week. And the joke is that I'll tell everybody, the joke is that they don't take our advice because they call and ask us questions. But the funny thing is that I'm always asking people, they're like, oh, I've got the cigar. I'm like, okay, let's assume your cigar coming out is good. One, can you recreate it next week? Like, do you have the same tobacco? And two, having a good cigar is not enough. Like, so what's your other part of the plan? Because that's only one piece of a very big puzzle. There's a lot of great cigars out there right now, but that is literally like, I'm assuming your cigar is good. I'm assuming your cigar has good construction. I'm assuming you can recreate this cigar next year and get more tobacco. That just puts you at the starting point of this industry. Now, what is going to have people remember your cigar 3 weeks from now? What is your interaction? What is your plan? What is your growth plan? All that stuff.
That's the fatal mistake they all make. They think it's just about making the cigar. And
no,
in today's day and age, that's like you said, that's just
in today's day and age, it's hard to find a shit cigar. Like you
got to
really, I said, you got to go out of your way. But it's hard to find a shit cigar. Go out of your way. But you got to go out of your way to find it. I mean, you're right. So you're as
a truly unsmokable cigar.
Right. I mean, look, it might not be my cup of tea, but it's a decent cigar.
Right,
I don't think we've had one. Like I don't think we've had one since CAO Firewalker. Well,
Coop, I think, Coop, I can go back on your show probably in 2012-13, and I've said from day one that 70% of this business is marketing. I've said that from when I entered into it.
I was going to bring that point up exactly. I remember because you were one of my first interviews I ever did, and I remember that conversation. It's exactly the case.
I still stand by that.
Yeah, I agree. And look, how many you see now for what you're doing? How many people want you to review a cigar and they don't even want to tell you about that brand? It's like I want to learn the story of the brand before I am going to invest time to review cigar because I think it's not going to pay. It's not going to pay off if we can't really tell the story first.
Nobody cares anymore. There's 700 new cigars a year or whatever it is. It's like, give me the story. Give me the the backstory on this. Give me what's going on, what the plan is. Because I mean, okay, great. Here's another 88 to 92, which is where everybody's ranges for the most part. It's tough. It's tough now.
Yeah. I mean, give me a reason to smoke it. It could be the blend.
Yeah.
It could be the story. It could be the personality. But give me some reason to say, okay, out of the portfolio that
it could be the presentation of the box.
Out of the portfolio that I'm regularly trying, I'm going to go out of my thing in a box and I'm going to try that. Give me that reason. And they all make that epic mistake, Fred. Yeah. They think that it's the cigar. And I don't know if you remember this or not, but when people actually come into my office for a meeting to try to get us to buy their cigars or try their cigars, and they give me a bunch of samples, ask Alex. I purposely won't smoke one of their cigars during the meeting. I do not want them to think that has anything to do with the decision-making process.
Yep. Totally effing threw me off because here we are, and he already has the cigars, and he's literally smoking something else. You were smoking, but you weren't smoking mine. And I'm like, what the hell? And then everything in the back of my mind is like, I don't understand this at all. But didn't have to do with cigar.
But that's why, I mean, and that's the problem. And like you, Fred, what my saying has always been, look, if this is the spectrum of cigars, like from here to here, right? And this is absolute unsmokable dog turd. And this is probably the highest quality, refined, best cigar you could possibly make, right? If you're anywhere in here,
You're good.
then it's all about branding, marketing, and how you communicate.
Right.
That's all it comes down to. And it doesn't matter where in here. You could be, I know a lot of cigars, in my opinion, my personal opinion, that are here in that spectrum, outperforming cigars that I feel are here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My favorite time of the, I should say, not my favorite. This time of the year, PCA, you see these posts go up on social media. Come to booth 1150 and see my booth. And that's it. They give no compelling reason.
Right.
No brand. Why you should go to the booth. I saw when the booth, one of the reasons why I think the Boutique Cigar Association Pavilion failed is that's how they were doing it. Oh, come see us at this booth. But there was no story. There was nothing to grab me in there. Because, yes, I know I could probably get a cigar and smoke it at that booth. But what's the story? Why am I going there?
Do you want to know why, Coop?
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you why. Because just like in the restaurant businesses, when you have a great chef or, in a restaurant,
right?
Most of the manufacturers, especially the small to medium guys, they don't have good business sense.
Okay, but
they're making cigars. Now, when they get bigger, Fred, when they get bigger and they can hire a guy who is actually running the front of the house.
I agree with you. I agree with you until last year.
I think a perfect example is look at Casa Fernandez, right?
Yeah.
Nobody really running the front of the house. Guy has more tobacco than anybody we know. Makes good cigars. Nobody running the front of the house there. Then they bring in a guy like Terrence Riley, who all of a sudden starts running the front of the house. And look what happens to the brand.
But right now, how hard is it I set up a new company. How hard is it for you to go, I'm sent to ChatGPT, hey, I'm sending an email to a bunch of retailers that are getting 16 other emails today about coming to my booth. Give me some great ideas of what I can put in this email that will draw them to my booth. Yep. We used to come up with that idea ourselves. We used to have to go, no matter how, I was the first person to do this or that.
How do you guys don't know what ChatGPT is? Come on, Fred.
AI does not replace humans. Humans using AI replaces humans.
AI free. Cigar Coop.
That's not my line, but
that's gonna be the new line, Coop. We're AI free.
No, I think. Look, I don't want to use it for writing and stuff because I'm going to feel cheated if I'm reading something on there. But you're missing out on. They're missing out on a marketing email or something like that. Yeah. Or give me a hook. Give me something that's going to set me apart from everybody else. What can I do different offer wise? I mean, that excuse worked 5 years ago when some guys are good at marketing, some guys aren't. But now, come on.
Yeah, but there are some people like you, Fred, throughout the year. I'm seeing Daniel Lance from Domain Cigars in there. You guys are marketing throughout the year, right? So you're kind of putting a presence out there on social media where, okay, if you see you're at the trade show and you've seen all this marketing go on, there's a reason to go to the booth. Right? But I've seen some of these other companies I've never, like the famous Don Nobody, right? And why am I going to your booth at Don Nobody? Who is
you can't? Here's the thing. Here's what new guys don't understand at PCA. Your success at PCA has nothing to do with being at the show. It has to do with what you did the 9 months leading up to the show and developing relationships to get them to come by your booth. If you're hoping to pop up a booth and someone randomly comes by your booth and buys cigars, forget it. It's the legwork you put in. And this is true of the big companies as well, getting hype going to get them into the booth, things like that.
Cool. How many times have you gone to the PCA, especially in the last few years, stop by a new manufacturer or new company's booth, or they don't have order forms? Mm-hmm. They don't have price sheets.
Yep.
The fuck you going to a trade show for?
Yeah.
They don't have cigars.
A lot of them
don't have cigars.
Some do. I mean, I'll say some do, but more than you. A lot of them. Maybe it's not just like a handful. A lot of them.
This is a hefty expense.
Yeah.
It is.
I mean, talk about just burning money up.
Yeah.
Look, there's the other side of it. Some people are cheap, right? And if you're not going to be cheap, then make your dollar work for you. Yeah. I'm not cheap. I'll spend a lot on marketing and advertising, but I will hate wasting a dollar. I don't want to waste a dollar on a wasted effort. And these guys spend shitloads of money, energy, manpower. They get themselves there. And it's like they just started thinking about what they were going to do 2 days before they got there.
Yep.
Right.
They're running the Kinko's to make prints and shit, whatever. Yep. It's like, It really
Well,
is.
look, you don't roll into that show without having gotten, and you can get, hey, I want to go to the show the year before I set up a booth. They'll let you in there, your perspective. There's got some sort of thing. You got to scope your audience, know what it is, or at least call up other manufacturers that or other boutique guys. Hey, what can I expect? What should I be ready for? But yeah, to go in unprepared at that dollar amount is crazy.
Jay could probably answer this for us because, not that I'd ever be on the board again, but if I was on the board of PCA, found myself there one time, is there a boarding program that you guys give people who sign up for the first time? Do you try to give them any information on how
That's
to
a good question.
Yeah, we started doing that for TGS.
We really do.
Yeah.
For first time.
You
It's
learn to tell people at
Alex and I
TGS
talked about doing this in the summer of soccer because it gets so complicated and what the best strategies are just to participate in a store promotion. Forget a trade show, I mean, I don't know if the PCA is doing it. But they really, really should. They should give step by step.
Yeah.
How to come prepared, what you should expect,
Checklist,
how to be successful.
An orientation Zoom call.
No, that's a great idea. And your point on TGS is very valid because I've heard you tell people going, hey, this is probably not the event for you. It's too expensive for you to do TGS, or you're not going to get enough traction, or whatever it may be. And you've always had the line that I left with a long time ago that I use today and you use. It's not personal, it's business. Like when you brought on my cigar, and then like it either works or not, we're going to be friends either way. It's not personal. We're going to hang out. We're going to smoke cigars. We're going to do whatever. But this is business and this is personal, and you can separate the two. And yeah, an onboarding thing for PCA would be great for everybody.
Everybody, listen.
And maybe they do. I don't know.
I've done it at least a half a dozen times in the past where we won't invite. The Great Smoke is invitation only. We literally will send out invitations in August to the people we want to participate based on how easy they are to work with, based on past performance, based on whether we feel the consumers would actually like to see the brand there. I mean, there's a bunch of little factors we look at. And at least a half a dozen times, I haven't invited a company back. And they'll come to me, and it's people I have a relationship with.
Right.
They'll be upset. And I will literally say, let me show you something. And I'll pull up all the sales. And I'll show them, like, you sold 3 boxes last year. You're dragging all your staff. You're spending a whole Saturday.
Doesn't make sense for you.
Yeah, it does. Forget about it doesn't make sense for me. It doesn't make sense for you. I mean, it's just not worth your time and your effort to come to this event. Either you're not coming right, or the consumer base really isn't interested in your brand. Either way, my obligation is to try to make the best event possible. And this event doesn't work for you, or it doesn't work for us, and it doesn't work for the people coming to the event. And I've had that conversation at least a half a dozen times.
So has anybody actually like taken that advice, turned it around, and then had a home run? Says, okay, we got to put in the legwork with the social group or something like that, and turned it around?
No, because
STG. Not that they were uninvited, but STG is the turnaround of fucking.
Wait, hold on. They were actually uninvited, but they
were. You're right.
I actually called them.
Big boy. A fucking big boy.
I said, listen, I'm just letting you know, I'm not inviting one of your divisions back next year. It just doesn't perform.
Listen, I'll be honest, because they've turned it around. They used to blank. Zero.
Mealy's been a big part of that.
I wasn't going to invite General one year. And Mealy had just taken over the position on the General side instead of Forge, because Dave at Forge was killing it.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, look, I'm just can't invite General. I mean, they sold nothing. Nobody's really interested. And he begged me to give him one more try. And this was his first year with General. And, we have a great relationship with Dave. So I owed it to him. We gave one more chance. I think they sold like the third or second most amount.
Second or third. Yeah.
That's impressive.
That's impressive. Yeah, I think it was third.
He turned it around. I'm very cautious, Fred, because like I said, like, I don't want to waste my money. I don't want them to waste their money too.
Sometimes, of course, you want them to be successful.
Yeah, sometimes it seems like I'm more worried about their money than they are, right? Because they just want to be part of the show. And I get that, but it's not benefiting you, me, or the consumers, right? So I'll tell you what, Rockefeller, who, we felt like he was ready because he's local here. So he's got a good local following.
Yeah. Right.
And we bought him in as a new brand, and he did very, very well. And he's been doing it every year since. Now I'll tell you, one year, and I'll call it out right now anyways, All Saints, right? He wanted to come in the Great Smoke. I told him, you can't do it. Listen to me, I begged him. I could have gotten him in, but I begged him, don't do it. And then I even told him some bullshit story on why it can't be done. right? We don't have room for you. I can't even squeeze you in. Man, he begged me so bad to be at that event. And I told him, you're not ready. You know, you don't have the materials you need to help promote your brand. You're just starting out. Don't do it. He did it. It was a catastrophe. It was a catastrophe. And, you know, obviously he hasn't been back since. He just wasn't ready. And there's a point where I
think it was literally that year the last product to arrive. Or
maybe he bought it with him, changed his mind last minute. I can't remember. It was a clusterfuck, and he was unprepared, and he couldn't handle it, and just got lost in the crowd of the other 31 companies completely. Yeah. But I begged him. When I tell you I begged him, don't do it. Don't do it.
Yeah, it's just you can
have and look, you can have a successful brand that is not good fit for that event, because that event is very specialized. It draws from a very specific group. You know, so it's it's not personal, it's business.
I'm just gonna say it. Like Padron isn't really fit for that event. That's not what they do. They're Padron. They don't do customer interact. They're fucking Padron. They're Rolex. They don't need to do
because they can't they can be.
And I tell you, I'll tell you the truth. The first year that we didn't invite them, because they'd been there for like a long time every year, but towards the end, the adults stopped coming. The kids started coming. They would show up late. Listen, God rest his soul. I'll never forget. They opened every Saturday morning, and they decided to close to come to do the Great Smoke. And the old man would meet a lot of his friends on Saturday morning. He saw that nobody opened the shop. They called them on the highway to turn around and come back and open the place in Miami. Yeah, and they ended up showing like an hour and a half late for our event. It's not their cup of tea, you know?
No, but I saw a lot of people that bought Padrones when it was the night events at Smoke Inn that were smoking Padrones.
Yeah.
No, their brand sells. They're historic, but it's not what they embody doing these multi.
Of course not. Yeah, right.
I'm going to tell you something. I tried to do George a favor. I literally called George, because you cannot just not invite him without a conversation. I mean, certain people I can do that with. I can't do that with George. And George didn't want to let it go. He kept on saying, just give me a couple of days. Let me think about it. I said, George, you really don't want to do this event. I'm trying to help you out. I don't want to not invite you, but I just want to let you know, I just don't think it's your cup of tea. And, he kept stringing me along like for a month or so, because I don't think he wanted to let it go out of the idea of, we should be there as a company more than
we've always been there. How are we going to not?
Yeah, more than
right.
I just stopped calling him, and I'm pretty sure they don't even realize what time of year the Great Smoke is. It comes and goes every year, and we still have a great relationship, but it wasn't their cup of tea, And our part of the things we look at in trying to pick out 32 businesses for the Great Smoke is who's really going to put in the effort, because at the end of the day, it's all about the consumer experience. What a lot of these manufacturers don't realize. And this is the part where I kind of get upset when somebody doesn't make an hour drive to participate in this event, or, from the other coast. You're here in Florida. Why can't you be at this event? And they don't realize that people like the pausers,
right?
Don McKnight, a lot of our, no one's doing events in Juneau, Alaska. This is the only
comes
time.
From fucking Israel every year.
Yeah. This is the only time these people will get exposed and have interaction with you. They're not going to a trade show. They're not going to any other multi-vendor event, most likely. We want to find the 32 companies who understand that concept and what we're trying to do, and really give these guys a positive experience. And that's the ones we try to work with.
Great point. That's a great point.
Yeah.
It's funny, but they don't realize it. They don't realize that so many people in the country never get, especially here in South Florida, we're fucking spoiled. I mean, we see them all the time. I mean, I've been seeing them for 30 years.
That's why store events are tough, because we just see them all the time.
Yeah, no one cares.
We did an event with Terrence Riley on Friday when he was hanging out there on Tuesday,
Right.
Yeah.
We just get used to we're spoiled down here.
It's very tough to create a store event in South Florida. And let me just tell you something. I don't even know how far back you go, Alex, but I was the king of throwing just regular store events. We had for years, because what I did was, it was like a mini Great Smoke. I didn't have a liquor license. I didn't have a bar. But if you came to my store event, we had complimentary booze. We had catered food. We had live entertainment. It was like a fucking mini Great Smoke for a store event. And we would run our store events from when the weather got cool, like September, October, up until April, maybe. April, or maybe we'll be out. And then we just wouldn't run any during the summer. It would just be too goddamn hot outside, And then we'd had the trade show, and we'd take a break. Fred, our events was getting 250 to 300 people every month
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you this, Abe, the
Like
first
clockwork.
smoke-in event that I ever attended, I didn't even know you or anybody at that time, but was the fucking Anarchy event. So,
Well, that was back in those days.
What the fuck? This
And I was
is
at
Right.
Apocalypse.
prior to that, it was, you know, Lido Gomez handing out airbenders at Puros for me. Like, that was an event. So this was like, what the hell?
Yeah,
is this?
we bought it a
Truck.
Zuzu truck to destroy with a sledgehammer. I mean, and
Oh, that's right. That's right.
as time went, and my father broke the fucking sledgehammer on his swing. Yeah, and as time went by, a lot of my competition started seeing how I do events, and they started doing events the same format, booze, whatever. And then more guys started doing more events, and then we just slowly saw, man, if in-store events for us just started getting dwindling to the point where not only wasn't worth our time, I'd be embarrassed to have a principal come to my shop and we had like fucking 40, 50 people show up. Like,
Right.
Oh, but,
You know?
but they'll still write. But they'll still write great event, even though there's 4 people there. They'll always write great event. I love these like great event posts, and there's 4 people, and they're empty, and they're showing the empty event. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what that was, and that's what was so great about the Great Smoke is that event was jam packed. You know, there was none of that going on there.
No, I tell you, I usually hate when people take social media videos and stuff like the VIPs or the manufacturers when the VIPs come in for that first hour because it looks so dead. You only got
Right.
You only got like 30%
people
of
aren't
your
even in. Yeah, the
people in
bulk
the
aren't
building,
even
right?
in the room yet.
And this year when they came in and we turned around when Michael and Kim and Paul and I were on the stage and we looked like, holy shit, this place looks full right now, and general admission hasn't even come in the building yet. So
Yeah,
it was a huge packed event.
yeah, but
Hey,
yeah.
Do you still have your, way off topic, do you still have your world's smallest violin?
Yes, I do. It's somewhere on the
I may
shelf.
have to order you one because I have found the perfect accessory. I have found the perfect
Oh my
accessory.
gosh, look at that.
Abe, I have the
Oh yeah!
Wait.
Oh, that's a winner.
Oh, I gotta get one of those.
I'm gonna have to
What?
That's a winner.
Where did you get that?
Oh, I gotta get
Fucking
one of those.
Oh.
ads, fucking social media. ads.
Right.
I wish this would play, but it won't play.
I know. And you know the thing with social media ads, it's like, all right, for $30, I'll gamble if it's ever going to arrive. You know what I mean?
Right. Or look anything like what you ordered.
Whatever. Right.
I got something I've been meaning to tell you off topic. Have you
Yeah.
seen that? Have you seen that computerized chessboard that moves all the pieces itself?
I'm gonna buy
Oh.
it. So I already have
Well,
one.
not that
I have it-
expensive.
No, it's like $700. I have one that's older, and then it has like you can hear the things moving. That one, looks
Right.
awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna buy.
And
one.
then when you take a piece, it automatically moves it to the side by itself, and then it resets the board by itself. I'm like, this is a badass fucking chessboard.
So it's funny because the one that I have, it only knows the magnets. It only knows by the position of the pieces. It knows the horse is in here and this moved here. And it's only that one actually, because there's actually little chips in that. It knows that this is a horse, this is a bishop. It knows what the piece is. So that's when you see, even you could just be like, yo, here, bing, set the board. And it just fucking all rearranges on by itself. No, it's wild. Yeah, I'm gonna get one. I saw that.
Is that the one that you can actually have it set up a preset program of a game already in progress, and then you can take it from that point on?
Yes, you can.
Yes, that's killer. Yeah.
You can set it up and play somebody who's playing online while you're playing on a physical board. You can have one, and I can have one, and we can play both. From our house.
Yes, that is so cool. I remember seeing that board with the clunky one that would move around. I remember seeing it at Sharper Image in San Francisco years ago. And I sit there and watch that thing for like an hour because it just would move and it was clunky. It was real rough moving them across and stuff. But the idea that you could have like this ghost of like, I can have one because it's hooked to Wi-Fi, and you can have one, and I can go make my move, go walk off, come back 3 hours later. You've made your move. I mean, that's just so cool.
And here's the thing about chess too, especially because if you're a person that like plays by yourself or plays online all the time. Because listen, when you're playing, you don't have somebody to play with. You play online, but playing online, looking at a 2D chessboard and playing in person, you see it completely. Fucking different.
I agree.
I know.
I'm an in person. I can't get used to the flat chess thing. I get it. It's just not. I visualize the board differently in person than I do online by far. And this is probably why people say I want to read a book, not a Kindle. If that's their argument because they want to feel and hold a book, I understand it now.
Well, my problem is the guys at the shop won't let me play with them, so I have to play online. I mean, I'm just too. They're at a different.
Well,
level,
maybe
so
if you dialed it back a little bit, made a few mistakes.
I do. I tell them I'll spot
No. You got to go Magnus and make your first opening moves the stupidest thing ever for your first 5 moves, where he moves. He spends 6 moves moving his king and queen opposite each other, and is basically back to the beginning.
Have you seen that, Fred? He does that. I understand. He does that against grandmasters. He doesn't do that against me.
I know. Because he's just screwing with him. He's like, I'm going to spot you 6 moves and be back to basically just swapping 2 pieces. And now I'll play.
Chess, and moving his king and queen around so they're on opposite pieces. And then he starts to play.
Yeah.
12. So, I guess I'll be ordering a couple trombones.
Yeah, I thought you'd like that. I'm going to tell you something. This 6x54 box press, I'm liking the size. Normally 54 would be maybe a little bit.
Box press changes grain gauges, man. It really does. I can smoke a 60 box press. I rarely smoke a 60 round.
58 box press is the max. AJ taught me that. He said 6x60 too much. 6x58 elegant. That's what AJ told me. I'm like, okay, sounds fair.
Could be on point there. I want to talk about Marshall's comment here, and it's something that we really strive always not to do lines. But I'm going to tell you something I have to do for next year. I have to make some hidden alleyways, because while people didn't wait in line more than 2 deep at the whiskey tasting station, everybody lingers there. And there's times where I got
around there. Yeah,
there's times where
there is a hidden alleyway there.
I got 30 seconds to get to the stage, and I found myself swimming upstream.
Yeah, we need to make it cut by the bathroom.
Go down the middle because that's packed, too, half the time. I need to figure out a direct line where I could just pop something and run behind.
Abe, there is the hidden alleyway behind there.
By the bathroom.
It's maybe alleyway at the end of the day, but during the day they got waters, they got they got all that stuff hidden behind there. It's packed.
That row, whiskey row stuff. It's tough getting through, especially when you're in a rush.
It's tough getting through.
That area, it's the only area that bottlenecks. Actually, it is a bottleneck area.
It's because they don't leave with their drink. They get their drink and they just linger there and say, "Well, I'll finish this one."
They're going to get another drink.
Yeah, so they just linger there, and that's really where it gets bottlenecked when I'm trying to get up, especially when I'm trying to get up on stage.
I wonder if that area, that whiskey row though, could go in the corner behind where Deadwood was and the hearing aid guy was and stuff like that. Like that would be that might free up that. And by the way, how did the hearing aid guy test your hearing at that event? Did anybody actually walk up and get tested for hearing?
And if you were able to hear him, you were good to go.
Oh, okay. Well, that's fair. Yeah.
You know who that is, right?
No.
Oh, it's Mitch. He's a dear friend of ours. He's the guy who runs the Distinguished Ruffians that does the tailgate.
Oh, yeah.
He goes outside from the tailgate party and then comes into his booth.
Oh, okay. I meant to go over there and find out how he tests hearing in that event.
Yeah. He goes, "Can you hear me?" They say, "Yeah," in that room. He said, "You're good to go."
You're good to go.
You're good to go.
That actually makes sense.
Especially in that room.
Right.
Alex just walked off.
Yeah. He just wandered off. Yeah.
We have the most laid back talk show probably ever. Just walk right on.
Right.
Bathroom breaks, It's like,
I guess Harry found out where the trombones are. He just ordered one.
Yeah. That didn't take long.
This was given to me. I haven't seen him. There were a lot of people that we befriended during COVID, and then after the real world opened up, they just kind of drifted away. The guy who gave it to me is one of those. I barely see him anymore. I forgot. I know he's either AC or a plumber. He's a tradesman out of Miami. I want to say Jose, but I'm not sure if his name is Jose. It might be Jose. Has a beard, short guy. He gifted me one of these during COVID, and then I haven't seen him in years. You wonder about that as a retailer. Sometimes we don't see somebody for years.
Yeah.
It's funny. I always say it when we're younger and we don't see somebody for years. We say, "Oh man, I wonder what they're up to."
Right.
Older,
yeah.
Older, you start saying, "Man, I hope they're still around." That's
right.
So I have my collection now of morbid things from the Great Smoke. I still have Bradley Ruben's mustache hairs.
Oh God. Okay.
So the goal of what I was going to do this, and now with AI and ChatGPT, I was going to do it. I was going to make a caricature of his head and then glue stick where the mustache was and then carefully lay the hairs on them so it'd be a mustache, put the Great Smoke logo on it, and then frame it and put it up on my wall.
Oh.
And then,
Okay, that's oddly serial killer-ish, but okay.
During the Great Smoke, I shattered a tooth, and I must have put it in my pocket.
This year, right?
And it went through the wash, and then I found it the other day. So I got my shattered tooth from the Great Smoke, 2026.
Welcome back.
Morbid things collecting from the Great Smoke.
Sorry. Jim, protein shake cigar isn't really the best.
You really don't have to elaborate.
It wasn't. It was like I may have to hurl. It wasn't a shit.
Yeah. I made that.
Just in case, let me go stand by the toilet for a minute.
That literally happened to me in a workout because someone gave me some sort of protein shake stuff. They're like, "Oh, you should have this before a workout," and that was a bad idea.
I have to go see this. This is.
I want to see that. Yeah.
This is one of the most favorite books I've ever read. This was an amazing, amazing book. I gotta see what's playing anywhere near us. I do
want to see that.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, I'm not familiar with this.
Oh, one of my favorite authors. But that book was one of my favorite books. It really was. My wife.
Yeah, my golf buddy just went and he says, "I never in a million years thought I would like a movie with a puppet," and he just went and saw it.
You know, I'm afraid because whenever I see like Mission to Mars was a good movie, right? I'm always afraid when I see a book I love and then I go watch a movie because Ender's Game got brutalized in the movie.
Oh, 100%, though.
I love that book, and it just got destroyed in the movie. So
but that's true of most of them, though, because
I'm always leery.
When you read a book, you pictured the character a certain way. They have to cut stuff out of the book that you thought was pivotal in character development. I mean, it's just that's almost inevitable. Half of all Stephen King ones are horrible.
I don't mind when I see the movie first and then go read the book.
Oh no, that doesn't bother me.
Because then it just gets better. But when you read the book, I'm always leery of going to see the movie. I don't want to end on that. That was all right.
Has there been a book that you? Has there been a book?
It's the same guy that did The Martian.
Yes.
Okay. Have you read a book that you thought the movie was better?
Yeah. Not
I'll
a book, but
one.
a series.
It's the same fucking one, isn't it? Yes, 100%.
Foundation.
Just because it's easier to follow on screen than reading.
Let me just say something. I love the show, and I said, let me go read this book because the show's incredible. Fuck that book, bro. That was the first book in 54 years of me living on this earth that I quit reading. Because there's two types of people in the world, right? There's people in the middle of a bad movie. They'll just get up and leave. They're not enjoying it. I don't care how bad it is. I'm finishing the movie. Okay. Same thing with a book. All right. I don't care for this book. I started the book. I'm finishing the book. Right. That was the first time in 54 years. I said, fuck this. I can't follow this book. I can't remember anybody's name. It's skipping around 100 years. And they didn't have, and I didn't know this going in the book. They didn't have the key element that made the fucking series so awesome in my eyes was, dawn, dusk, and day.
Yeah.
I mean, they took away that. I'm like, what the fuck? That was like the most coolest, interesting fucking.
Right. No. They didn't take away that, Abe. They added that.
Well, they added that. Yeah.
Right.
Put it that way.
No, listen, Abe and I both agree. If Foundation wasn't a science fiction, it would have swept.
It should win fucking every Emmy. Writing,
absolutely.
costume, acting,
I agree.
Casting,
everything.
Yeah,
I agree. One of the probably most brilliant shows on television.
Yeah. What's your answer?
No, it's fair. That's fair.
I'm trying to read.
think what else was like that.
Yeah, that's the only one I could really think of.
But that one jumps immediately.
It jumped right to my head. We didn't even have to think too hard about it. So disappointed by the book. Yeah.
The only one I could think of that I thought that I had read the book that I thought the movie was actually better, but that's because I think it required so much on the visual and the music was Jaws. Jaws is a good book, but the visual, the soundtrack, to me, the movie Jaws was good.
Yeah, Peter Benchley book, right? That was.
Maybe Shawshank Redemption, but that's just a short story from Stephen King. Rita Hayworth and the Shawshank Redemption becomes maybe that one because Shawshank's my favorite movie. I think I enjoyed the movie better than the story because I didn't remember the story. I knew I'd already written or read it, but the movie blew me away.
Alan Richardson, a little bit of trouble there. A little bit of trouble.
Oh, yeah.
A little bit of trouble. Beat his neighbor up on the front lawn.
Yeah. Got to watch those Ring doorbells to catch you.
Sometimes all that testosterone you're using. Listen, man, if you look at him from season 1 to season 2 of Reacher, he doubled in size.
Yeah.
He literally doubled, if not more, in size.
And he was already 6 times bigger than Tom Cruise was in the movie. So
seriously, he was a monster. But he literally doubled. I'm like, what the? It was either season 1 to season 2 or season 2 to season 3. As soon as I saw the thing preview, like, what the fuck? Like, this guy blew up.
Yeah, and I actually don't. I don't like him bigger. Like, to me, it's not as interesting when he's a bigger guy. I thought the first season, like, okay, he's big, but he's not giant. They bring him back and like, okay, well, now you're giant. Of course you're going to beat them all up.
Gigantor. Did anybody, and I'm curious because I haven't done it yet, because I have to watch the last 4 or 5 episodes of the final season before I watch it. Did anybody hit the Peaky Blinders movie?
Yes.
I heard nothing but a little disappointment from some people who did watch it.
It's different. It's different. I mean, it's not going
to appease the Peaky Blinders fans. It might have stood good alone on its own. Like, if nobody ever knew what it was and watched it, it might be decent. But if you're coming in with a Peaky Blinders,
no. I think on its own, if you hadn't watched the other one, I think you'd like it less.
Worse. Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's good, but you need the backstory of it. It's just disappointing because you hope a lot of the characters are still there, and this is in the future, and they're not there anymore. So
all the people you want to see are gone.
Yeah, the only I don't think I'm giving anything away. The only one that's still in it is his sister, and I think his sons. But yeah. There is another character that's in it too. But yeah, it's I thought it was good, but it's different.
The aunt from the show passed away.
Really?
That was the wife of the redheaded actor. I forget his name, from Billions. And that's why he left Billions, to go raise his kids, because his wife died, and they brought in that other guy for a couple of seasons, and then the show ended. But the original actor from Billions, that was his wife.
Has anybody watched Helen McCrory?
Has anybody watched Nuremberg yet on Netflix? Russell Crowe?
No, you got to be in the mood for that.
Yeah, that's why I haven't had it yet. It's like
it's in my queue. It's in my queue. Yeah, I will say, by the way, if anybody that did like Ted Lasso, if you've not seen Harrison Ford in Shrinking is a great show. All
right, I've seen it. I've thought about.
Did you like Ted Lasso?
Didn't watch Ted Lasso either.
Okay, well then I don't know. I mean, if you like a movie that's funny, but then also sad, then also real, and also outlandish, Shrinking is good. Shrinking is good. How did you not watch Ted Lasso? Ted Lasso was the COVID show we all needed. It was great.
I see it all the time on my radar. I just hesitate.
Oh, it's so good. So good.
Two things. If anybody's The Boys fan, the final season started. I refuse to watch any. I refuse to watch any episode until it's all out.
Agreed. Yeah. Same.
So do you think that what's his name will kill Homelander, or is it the girl from the college? My daughter and I have a big debate on this. Who's going to end up killing Homelander? Because that's how the show's got to end. Somebody's got to kill Homelander.
Yeah, I think it's going to be the girl from college, though. I think that's it. Yeah.
And my daughter's pissed because she.
I think we're going Game of Thrones. It's going to be a smaller character that pulls through and does it.
Yeah, my daughter's pissed because she thinks that what's his name is the only one that has the right to actually probably kill him at the end. The Australian guy. Forgot his name.
No. Yeah. No.
Another show that's out right now, and I'm not watching it, but I'm telling you, this is another one of the show that borders on brilliance. Is For All Mankind.
I have not watched it.
I didn't get into it.
I hear it's good.
I gotta go. It's one that I kept.
It borders on brilliance, and I'll tell you why. I think the whole premise is that the Soviets beat us in the space race. Okay.
Yes, that's basically the premise.
So they beat us in the space race. I got so many sci-fi shows. I kind of crossed the fucking thing, so I wanted to make sure that was this one. But what I really love about this show is every season it leaps decades. Like Every like this, the
That's
guy
cool.
who's the main character on the first one's got to be like 80 in this season. I haven't started yet, but my favorite thing is everything's a little bit of an alternate timeline now. So like Nixon never gets impeached. All this cool stuff happens with modern day people that we know. And at the start of every season, and a lot of people, I'm shocked, a lot of people who do watch For All Mankind don't even know this. But at the start of every new season, if you go down below where the episodes are, you will see a box for every year. So like now this season jumped from 2004 to 2012. So they have a 2005, 2006, 2000, where you click on it and it has a 90-second like news thing of all the news articles in that year.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool.
You're following the history in those.
Oh, yeah.
Before you start the new season, it's brilliantly done.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about that show, actually. So
yeah, that For All Mankind. I mean, another one. I'm just waiting until all the seasons come out, to watch. But definitely. I mean, you got to be a little bit of a sci-fi fan, but even if you're not, it's a brilliantly done show. It really, really is.
Did you like Silo? Did you like Silo?
Silo. I started reading the book. I started reading the books from the show.
I like Silo. Yeah. I like but here's the problem with Apple. They don't have enough. I love Silo. I love Severance. I love Foundation. I didn't get into All Mankind. I need to go back, but they don't have enough. Apple.
But for $29 you get the music, you get the shows, you get whatever.
I have it, but I'm saying they don't have enough. I wind up not going into.
Well, I mean, look, they're not a Netflix, but
the one that I kind of I like, but I kind of.
Morning show is really good with Reese Witherspoon or whatever. I got stuck. My wife's like, I'm like, it was good.
Morning show's not Alex's cup of tea, but it's a good show.
Pluribus was decent. I like.
I haven't watched that. I heard so many negative things on that. I haven't watched it.
The lady gets on my nerves. The main character really. I can't
watch Bad Monkey.
Bad Monkey.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet. Is that good?
I like
Vince Vaughn. I like Vince Vaughn. So yeah, I forgot about that.
Bad Monkey's a good show. Watch Bad Monkey.
Forgot about. Somebody said Hijack was good. I haven't watched it yet.
Listen, Hijack's one of those things when I'm in between all the shows I really like, I'll watch Hijack.
Right.
How about Scarpetta?
You know my problem with not necessarily it wasn't Foundation, but like Severance, Pluribus. I don't know. Apple has a little bit of it. I feel like they always at least have one or two fluffer episodes where you come out where you're like, what the fuck is this?
So here's the problem.
Yep, I agree.
And they never draw it back in.
So here's the problem.
Like there was this one scene in Severance when they were out in the fucking woods in the mountain, and then it just was like why are we? We had to fill an episode in.
So it's really funny you say that.
Field trip day.
Yeah.
Me and my daughter were like good Supernatural fans, right? And Supernatural would always have this overlying theme that would go for the whole season, right? This background conflict.
I used to like that one.
But they had fluffer episodes. They would have an episode that had nothing to do with the conflict of the season. And you could do that when you have 28 episodes in a fucking season. But when
we got 12.
When you got 8 or 10, you can't have a fluffer episode. You can't have a fluffer episurt.
Yeah. Have you guys seen Scarpetta?
I didn't watch it, but I keep.
That's on Amazon. Really good.
It's on Amazon.
Kurt, I
couldn't get a word in. I couldn't get a word in with these. I was trying to talk about Scarpetta like for 5 minutes.
By the way, big fights on Amazon tonight.
I know. Yeah.
Oh,
sure. I'm a Thurman guy, so I'm excited about that. Yeah.
All right, guys, we're gonna take a little bit of break and come back with. We have a Name That Jam. We have Tail of the Tape.
We have Tail of the Tape.
We got Tail of the Tape, and we got our news with Scoop, all coming up in hour 2 of KMA Talk Radio. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back after this. Keep it lit.
Imagine not choosing Monte Cristo. Imagine not choosing greatness. The difference between us and everyone else is in our DNA. The flame of Monte Cristo never extinguishes because greatness is more than high ratings and exceptional cigars. In greatness, there is history, development, and constant innovation. Choosing a Monte Cristo is not choosing the easy way. Choosing a Monte Cristo is deliberately choosing the best option. Since 1935, we have strived for excellence. Our brand is backed by thousands of pickers, bunchers, rollers, salespeople, and aficionados like you. Choosing Montecristo is more than simply choosing the best. It is joining a family that believes in greatness. It is knowing that Montecristo evolves with the times, but still maintains our values and storied traditions. Choosing a Montecristo is choosing not to settle for less than the best. Lighting a Montecristo is taking a trip down memory lane, yet enjoying the moment and getting excited about the future. Imagine not choosing Montecristo. Imagine not choosing greatness. Now our story continues. Without forgetting where we came from, we are creating the future, one blend at a time. Here's to the past, present, and future. Montecristo. Then, now, forever.
Honest Abe here with the GOAT to tell you about Smoking's Cigar of the Month Club. Alex, tell our fans out there why our club is the best darn club out there.
Absolutely.
I'll tell you why. Because every month I personally handpick 5 premium cigars. No filler, no fluff, no fugazis. These are all premium handmade name brands that you can find in any brick and mortar store in your area. All delivered to your door for $34.95. And our average monthly retail value since the inception of our club has been almost $57. Another great feature of our Cigar of the Month Club, Alex, tell them about the ease of our Cigar of the Month Club. I'll tell you, I hate subscription services. It's always a pain to cancel them, turning them on. We've made it super simple. All you gotta do is log into your account. There's a little green button there. If it's green, you're active. You want to take a break, you're going out of town, simply hit the button and you'll deactivate your membership. Want to turn it back on? The exact same easy process. You can turn it right back on. We've made it that easy for you. Another great feature is our Double Down Club. Alex, tell them about the Double Down Club. We had so many of our members reach out to us, really enjoyed our selections every month. They wanted to know there was a way they can get 2. And we've made that very simple. With a simple check mark, you can get double this great selections every month and save $10. Does our club have perks? Of course it have perks. You want to tell them about the perks? As a member of our club, every month there's a special discount code where if you like any of the selections, we will offer them to you, so you want to come and get some more, you can get them at a special discounted rate for our Cigar of the Month Club members. And finally, expedited shipping. Tell them how fast we get the stuff out, Alex. We get the stuff out on the 28th of every month. Our membership bills on the 28th, and we get every member's package out on the 28th if it's a shipping day. 5 great reasons on what makes Smoking Cigar of the Month Club the best club out there. Check it out. Peace. Hey, I really appreciate you doing the video with me. Thanks.
Oh, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, you didn't let me get a word in, but whatever.
What?
That was great. It's perfect.
Welcome back, everybody, to hour 2 of KMA Talk Radio. Our man has taken his typical bathroom break. Does anybody look, as an employer? There's certain things that I just get like, I'm stupefied by, and maybe it's just me. Like, I'm blessed. I almost hate to say it, but I really seldom ever get sick. Really. So a lot of times when my employees would be sick a lot, I couldn't comprehend it because it doesn't happen to me. And you just have to learn over time that people actually get sick a lot. I've had a handful of employees like Alex that go to the bathroom like clockwork at a daily time. Is that just him or these people, or is this more common than I believe? Do you go to the bathroom like regularly, like 10:30? Like he'd come to work at 10 o'clock, 10:30, I don't even bother looking for him. He'd be in the bathroom.
Yeah, I mean, I eat. I'm like a dog, dude. I eat.
The brochure looks good. I mean,
Shit it out. Abe, it also doesn't help working in a cigar shop, smoking cigars and taking in nicotine all day. It's a fucking diuretic. You eat lunch, you smoke a cigar, you got to take a shit.
I just,
Is how.
but you know,
But no, I'm very regular as we discuss my bowel
it's
movement.
one of those things. I just don't know if that's a common thing with people.
We have a new commercial in the works. We have it planned out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I know.
We'll get it eventually.
It'll be 2027 by the time we get that commercial.
Yeah, Fuente Padron Legends 2 will come out before we get it done.
I'll make another bet.
hey, Abe is like 70 pounds lighter now. I mean, come on.
That's the whole reason for
Alex.
the fucking video. Both of us. We need an updated video.
Alex is a little roly-poly in that video.
Yeah.
Alex is the same weight, but now he's all muscle.
See, yeah, Mawa's with me. Mawa's a regular guy.
Regularities.
Oh, God. Spice of life. Oh, come on.
Poor guy. This is the only place he's got a voice now.
Free set.
Oh, yeah.
I'm missing something.
Well, I could give him a 3
Yeah,
days.
Oh, okay.
He's sitting out there
Yeah.
just posting ridiculous stuff all day, just like feeling like, okay, I can't be touched. I'm just going to sit here. All right. Simple 3
Time out. Time out.
We put him in a timeout. All right. It's that time, everybody.
There we go.
We're going to test everyone's musical acumen.
Oh,
And actually name that jam.
Coop, you're in. You're in. This is all you.
Ooh, I just realized we didn't make them a bottom banner. I'm gonna have to make them one, but being it's the same organization,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw that in for now.
Sure. All right. Let's see if you fine folks got what it takes to name that jam.
Don't want to hear about it. Every single one's got a story to tell. Everyone knows about it, from the Queen of England to the Hounds of Hell. And if I catch it coming back my way, I'm gonna serve it to you. And that ain't what you want to hear, but that's what I'll do.
Impossible.
That's a tough
No,
one.
I know. I know the lyrics.
I got this one.
Rui's there.
I got it. I think I got it.
This
is a hard
I was
one.
thrown. I was thrown
I'll
off.
give it again.
No,
I'll give it again.
See, I've either got it or I don't. I mean, I wasn't prepared for
This is
just the
hard.
reading of it.
This is hard.
It's Jack White, White Stripes.
You got it.
I mean, Seven Nation Army.
What's the
Well done.
song?
What's the song?
I don't even know.
Seven Nation Army.
Yes, you do, Abe.
Yeah, you do.
Seven Nation Army.
Dum 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 dum.
Oh yeah, I do. Yeah, now I get it. I
I
got it now. Yeah, it's too fucking hard.
I mean,
I wasn't prepared for the reading. I thought we were going to listen to music, so that threw me off for a second. But then I'm like, no, I know.
Yeah,
this
Oh,
song.
the music. They say the music was too hard.
They're all hard.
That was
Maybe
a,
I'll-
that
I'll
was a
explain
hard.
it
I know
later.
that was a hard one. Yeah.
I got it.
I think ever since we've invented this, I think I've got 3 right. So I mean, hey,
I don't know.
whatever.
This was the hardest one I think to date that I think of these.
Yes, because the music wasn't 1940s Coop for you. I got it. I see why this is hard
Oh,
for you.
stop it.
I'll explore some other. I'm gonna explore some other name that jam ways.
This one's a tough. These are tough.
This
It was,
was
I like
hard.
the backwards
audience
ones.
did good. The audience did good with
The
this
backwards
one.
ones were fun too.
Yeah.
it was easier when you read the lines than the AI doing it. The AI is just throwing me way off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Because you don't get the inflection right. Yeah, that's fair.
Right.
Even when Alex read them in monotone, it was easy. They're doing like a worse reflection, so like it's worse.
It sounded like a carny that was reading the lyrics. I mean, it was just,
Yeah, it was like almost like a Mickey Mouse type.
it was like a Bart Simpson's character, right? It was like a Simpsons
right,
character
right.
reading. it.
Literally. That was a little tough.
Yeah.
But that episode of Ninja Jam was brought to you by the fine folks over at Macanudo Cigars.
Did anybody in the chat get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of people in the chat.
Yeah.
Got it.
They did good.
Oh yeah. See, there we go. So it was good. It was a good one.
And then you have Marshall here. Yeah, there we go. I'm just maybe it's just mental block for me.
Queen of England, Hounds of Hell. That's what gave it away.
Yeah. That's the
That's
one I
what I
got
figured.
it.
The Hounds of Hell was the one.
That's when I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I didn't even think I knew that song. As soon as you went to dun, dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun. I wasn't sure it was White Stripes because the dude's in like 17 bands because he just creates another band for whatever music he wants to play. But I was pretty sure. He's talented. He's talented.
Going to see going to the Sphere for the first time in May.
Oh yeah.
Gonna go see No Doubt. But listen, I've been waiting for my wife's a big fan of No Doubt. I mean, I like them. I wouldn't travel to go see them, but we've never been to the Sphere, so they're coming out for a concert. I got tickets. My wife and I are going, but I don't know if they went on sale yet. I got to find out. Definitely want to see Metallica. Metallica's coming to the Sphere.
Nice.
That's got to be a great show.
I looked at the lineup because I thought about going in April for my birthday, and I think they're dark on my birthday weekend. But I was looking at the lineup, and like half of them, I'm like, I don't care. Like now, No Doubt was the only one I saw on the list, and I'm like, okay, I would see them.
That's how I felt. I've been looking for a good concert to check out the Sphere. No Doubt came up. Probably I wouldn't have done it myself, but being that my wife's a huge fan, I said we'll go. But don't tell me the Metallica one is sold out already. I didn't even realize it went on sale already. Is that what you're talking about, Preston?
Oh, maybe he's talking about No Doubt.
I'm hoping he's talking about No Doubt.
I bet they could be sold out if it's coming in May. I mean,
no doubt. But I didn't know Metallica went on sale. I just heard recently. Oh man, that sucks. Gonna have to see.
Well, scalpers.
Yeah, I know. Then you pay some fucking stupid price.
They're all stupid prices now.
Yeah, they are.
They are all stupid prices.
I mean,
hey, no doubt.
I paid $1,000 or whatever, $1,100 to see Pink for 2 tickets. Not at the Sphere, just concert.
Pink's one of the best performances I've ever seen.
Who was?
Pink is
oh my god, unbelievably good, unbelievably good. It was worth every penny. Worth every penny.
Listen, I always say it. The best concert that I ever seen are 2 people that I do not listen to their music whatsoever. Pink and Justin Timberlake are the best concert performance that I ever seen.
We were talking about when we did the Hall of Fame review a few weeks ago, and Alec, you and I talked about Pink on the live end might put her over the top in the Hall of Fame.
Pink as a performer.
Yeah.
I saw Neil Diamond back in the day, and he was another one that I didn't want to see, and I'm like, the dude knew how to perform. One dude just out there, just owning the stadium. It was amazing.
It could have been part nostalgia, but I really don't think so, because even I just think about it now, but I really think one of the best shows I saw was the most recent show when we saw David Gilmour in Madison Square Garden.
I wish I had seen that, but
he put on such a fucking incredible show. He's still playing guitar like he's in his 30s. And then his daughter had some songs on the track, and she came out and played with him, which made it even like more cool. It was a great fucking show. It was a great show.
I would see the Wizard of Oz in the Sphere. I think that would be kind of cool to see.
There are some things that would be cool to see there. I mean, I don't want to go see their movie documentaries or their history.
No. I don't want to see a country singer there.
Yeah. So, yeah, I definitely. I mean, it looks cool from the outside. I've never been inside. Have you been inside for anything at all yet?
I haven't seen anything in there.
Yeah, me neither.
I haven't either. Yeah.
The worst part is he's probably sitting 40 feet from Abe right now.
He's sitting right outside this window.
Yeah,
probably
100%. Coop, how you doing on the news this week?
Busy week.
Really?
Busy. We're getting into PCA.
Yeah, we do have a lot going on.
In fact, I this year I've kind of taken a different approach with PCA news. We're not overloading it every day. It's going to be spread out more. It's too. Otherwise, not only am I competing with every other site, I'm competing with myself. So we made some changes this year. So I picked some interesting stuff I thought this week.
Oh.
That's what Bear said. I was on Bear's show the other day, and he said that you guys were taking a different approach this year.
We're taking a very different approach. We revamped a lot this year. We spent 11 months rethinking how we're covering this. We did well last year, but it was such a hard effort that I think the team nearly broke down doing it. So we have to do something different now.
Interesting.
I mean, I prepared by going out and buying really expensive sneakers because I could care less about fashion anymore. I'm getting the most comfortable possible shoes. Like, what is the most expensive, comfortable, cushy shoe I can possibly get? And I bought that.
Yeah, and break them in now. I did that for Pro Cigar this year.
I got to break them in?
What did you
Hey, that
come
kind
up
of
with,
money, they
Fred?
should be. I got the on cloud, whatever they are. Everybody says those are like, I mean, there's a couple
They
brands
are.
that are up there, but
The ones
yeah.
with the little squares and the soles.
Yeah, rectangles or something.
yeah,
Yeah.
OC.
My
I
daughter.
can't.
I tried them on, and I have some Brooks running shoes that are really, really comfortable, and I wore those there to go try on other shoes because I'm like, they got to beat this. And the on clouds were pretty nice. So we'll see. I'll test them at the show.
They are,
I'll write a review. I'll write a review.
The on clouds run too narrow for me. That was my problem. I couldn't wear them. They run narrow for me.
Every shoe runs too narrow for me.
I know. That's my. I know. My kids too. My kids got it from me too. They all got stupid.
Dude, my son has the most odd feet in the universe. I'm telling you, this kid's doomed. It's short, and it's about that wide, and it goes from the heel to toes, literally like this. Like, I don't know what this kid's gonna do as he gets older with shoes. I mean, it is the most.
Find them wide toe box. Luckily, wide toe box shoes have made a little bit of a return. Because man, it's tough. It's tough. Otherwise, kid wears a size 8. You got to buy him a size 9 just so his foot is wide enough.
Right.
It's so odd. I've never seen a foot shape like mine's wide as hell. I'm quadruple D, but I'm quadruple D all the way up and down.
Right.
You know what I mean, my foot's pretty much almost as wide as the top as it is toward the bottom, but his is like a V. Like literally, look at his feet. He looks like a goddamn duck.
That's
Poor kid. All right, let's delve into what's going on in the cigar industry. It's time, always teaser and rumor free, to find out what's the scoop with Coop.
Hey, yo, what's my theme music?
The Scoop with Coop. Breaking industry news. Hear it first on KMA Talk Radio and cigar-coop.com.
All right. So I actually this morning sent Alex an update because I decided I wanted to get this in today, this story, because this one kind of...
well, we know it's not Mago Vice.
It's not Mago. Well, I know it's not Mago Vice. But McAuliffe is doing another launch at the trade show this year. So actually, white was going to be, a lot of people thought it was going to be white, but they have another cigar.
McAuliffe Skittles?
McAuliffe.
Yeah. Actually,
kind of.
No,
Well,
don't say so.
if you were at TGS, you might have seen this cigar floating around.
I was there, but
yeah. They're doing a mixed filler cigar. It's called the McAuliffe Color Blend Bundles. So what they essentially are doing, they're taking the trimmings. I don't want to say scraps, but that's sometimes the word used. They're taking all the trimmings, the leftovers they've had from the Color Series blends. They're using it in the filler, and they're building a mixed filler cigar on this. And this will come out at the trade show. There's going to be 2 sizes. One's called number 2, which is actually a Toro 6x52, and a 660, which is a 6x60. And pricing is going to be $5 for the number 2 Toro and $660 for the 660 there. So they're also going to be doing a long ash contest at several of their retail partners this year because they're standing by that. This mixed filler cigar holds a great ash. And you can make a very good mixed filler cigar with an ash there. But so this will be coming out at the trade show this year and shipping right afterwards.
it has to be.
So is it short fill? Is it short fill tobacco?
Yeah. Yep.
Well, listen, they already do well with their A, which is also short fill.
But
Already,
they kind of tried to market not as a short fill. This one they're marketing more as a short fill, I think.
Right.
But so I think, like I said, they have a lot. I'm sure right now most of the tobacco that they have left over is from the Color Series. Sure. So it makes a lot of sense to do this move.
How do you get short fill and longest ash in the same sentence?
Well, I don't think he said longest ash, but they're going to have a
long ash.
They're holding ash, but if they're packed well, you can't get a long ash. It's when they're
listen. Charter Oak holds decently, and that's mixed fill, right?
That's fair. Yeah.
What did you say?
Charter Oak makes it decent. I said Charter Oak makes a decent ash. That's not all over the place. That's mixed fill cigar.
That's fair.
Yeah, it really just depends how they're packed. That makes a lot of difference.
Yep.
I mean, I personally, if I'm smoking a bundle cigar, I'm not worried about the ash. It's not my concern.
Yeah.
At that price point, yeah.
It might be for the king, but for us,
I'd be interested to see what the king can do with a mixed fill.
That sounds like a challenge, Randy.
If there's anybody that can tell us, it's the king. It's the
What else you got going on, Coop?
There was an announcement early in the week by Jonathan Drew, and I think a lot of folks know he is opening up his venue in Wynwood, Jay San and Son, and they announced a partnership with ST DuPont this week. There's really two things they're going to be doing with this partnership. Number one is they're going to have what they're calling a store-in-store, where they're going to have a pretty much they're going to be carrying all the ST DuPont stuff in the store going forward, not just these cigar accessories, but the travel accessories and the writing accessories.
It'll be like its own little boutique, right?
Yeah, it'll be its own boutique. It's going to be a large cabinet, I think, is what they're going to have with that. And then the other thing is they're going to have these in-store experiences where they're going to have like collector events, similar to what you do with car events and watch events. They're going to try to create the same excitement with DuPont. But I think this is the first time in the U.S. DuPont has done something like this.
Cooper's going broke.
I know, I'm going to go broke. I'm like, yeah, because now I want to take all my stuff down. I definitely want to go to one of these for sure. So that's, yeah, like I said, I've been, actually, I don't know if you guys have seen, I have seen the inside of Jay San and Son, and it's going to be spectacular, and I'll tell you that. It's really nice.
It's really not just like a retail shop. It's a whole experience.
It's a whole experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like this too. I like this idea because look, let's be real. DuPont is our Tiffany's, right? That's what we have. When the women have Tiffany's, we have DuPont. So it would be cool to have really be able to get like a boutique. I mean, that's what we have, you know.
Yeah,
You're right.
Wife's like,
You're right.
she's like, she said the same thing. You're collecting this stuff like you're like jewelry, basically. And yeah, I'm going broke with it, but that's it's not like I can afford this stuff.
Coop's in trouble.
I got to spend some quality time with Jonathan before the Great Smoke. He came up here one morning, and then obviously I don't get the chance to talk to him at the Great Smoke, but he really has a major vision on what he wants to accomplish there.
Yes, he really does. This is a long-term play, and he's making it. Like I even went through some I had Chef Julia, who I met a few years ago at the Great Smoke. She showed me some of the menu stuff they're doing. It's really going to be great.
Yeah, it'll definitely be an experience.
Yep. So, but also the other thing is it sounds like the opening has been pushed back to September.
It's going to get pushed. I mean, I've opened up
for something of that scale. I'm sure.
Yeah.
And just know, look who decided to join us finally this morning.
Good morning, Raphael.
He's a little late.
Good morning. There he is.
I was actually concerned if everything was okay.
From Miami. Yeah.
Oh, he's probably he's down in Miami.
Yep. I was gonna say something before I saw Raphael up there.
You were mid sentence.
Yeah, I can't remember.
The delay, September delay. It'll delay.
Oh yeah, I mean, and let me just tell you something. And just knowing Jonathan Drew, I guarantee you, there's a historical amount of change orders to that project.
Yeah.
Historical amount. This contractor's probably loving life.
Yeah. Oh wait, I have this other. Jonathan. He's laying in bed. He has this other idea. I'm sure.
Right.
This contractor's already talking. You're going to open up. You're going to build something else.
When's the next one?
What can I do for you, buddy?
All right.
What else you got going on, Coop?
All right. I'm curious on Abe's thoughts on this one. So we'll just put it up there. Casada unveiled a new logo this week, new company logo. And there it is. So that's the new logo. They're doing when I was down at Pro Cigar, they're doing a complete overhaul of the portfolio as well. There's going to be rebranding, restructuring on a lot. I know Casa Magna is getting rebranded as well to Casada Casa Magna. But this generated a lot of talk this week, that logo.
I'll tell you, I saw that and I immediately said, "Oh, Sancho Panza. Okay, that's what we're going for." That's just what I saw immediately from this. Is old Sancho Panza.
Look at Abe.
It hurts more because I really like this guy. I really got a lot of respect for Manny Casada, and it's just my humble opinion, but the product's never been the problem. The logo's not your problem. You're reaching. And I don't mind rebranding. Sometimes rebranding works.
Right.
Sometimes rebranding is necessary. Sometimes it doesn't work. But there's inherent problems with the way the company internal structure is operating not only just in dealing with the retailers, but even the consumer base. And I remember where I was in the car. I was on Federal Highway 1 in Jupiter. So I was up there for something where he called me and I had an in-depth talk with him. And I don't think anything I said resonated with him.
He's not active really in the company anymore from what I hear.
Well,
yeah, it's the daughters right now who, because he's living in Spain right now, retired.
I mean, I don't know.
I'm
a good family.
But I mean, I've known them. I've known them as long as I've known just about anybody in the industry. Manolo and I talk all the time. I just went to Spain and we had lunch several times and smoked cigars. I saw that label and I was not a fan. And I mean, look, that is a brand that, and Abe, you go way back on there. We all root for it. We really do. I mean, we have fond memories of it. We have fond memories of the blends.
Good.
We wanted to see every retailer has the same story. Help me help you. Like, I want this brand to move, and they got great blends, and even the last round, Manolo blended before they went out some great cigars, made a lot of lists. I'm rooting for them, I really am. But I saw that label, and I just, there are rebrands that you're like, I understand it makes a refresh. I mean, Crown Heads, Oz Family Cigars, all those guys, everybody's kind of done that rebrand, and it makes sense structurally on there. I just saw that, and I just didn't see that as a step forward. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen how the rest of it's going to package out, what they're going to do with it. But Manolo and I have not talked about it yet because I don't know how to talk to him about that particular thing. But
let me see that logo again.
Sancho Panza.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, all right, so rebranding doesn't solve the problem, but if you were going to rebrand it, this, in my opinion, is not it.
I mean, it's a legacy brand. That's not a legacy brand label. But then again, maybe they're going for simplicity. Casada, 1974. I mean,
you know what that is?
ChatGPT.
No, it reminds me of the Cubao brand that EO brands are.
You're right. Yeah.
It reminds me of the Cubao. I don't know why.
I mean, maybe the Casada and the Established is gold foil, so maybe it starts to pop a little bit more. I don't know that might work. I don't know.
I'll keep Googling the Cubao. I could be way off, but that's just what
I'm rooting for him.
No, you're
I'm
right.
rooting for him.
The brown and the white give really kind of.
I can't even remember what the Cubao brand looks like, but the fact that that's such a long gone brand and it popped into my head.
Got it. Yeah. Oh, it's not a JPEG. Give me 1 second.
The middle of that thing was supposed to be a spark, and they're using the slogan "Spark up here and now." It's like that.
Oh no! They hired some marketing firm. I'll tell you that right now. That's some fucking cheesy marketing firm who thinks they understand the cigar.
Photo credit to our friend McTavish in developing palettes. But yeah,
look at that. Good call, Abe. Good call.
Good call, Abe.
Yeah, pulled that out of the depths of my ass.
Yeah, you did.
I couldn't even remember the Cubao, what it looked like, but I just said when I saw this, I felt like, why am I looking at Cubao?
Yeah. Good call.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. This, unfortunately, I don't have.
I mean, I think you hit it. That is not the problem.
It's not.
That was not the problem you needed to fix.
No. I wasn't the biggest fan of the old logo, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was bad, but I wasn't the biggest fan. I just didn't. I thought it was always an awkward logo to have on a cigar. So when I heard they were redoing a new logo, I was like, I was encouraged. This is not what I expected, though.
But they had some cool. I mean, I thought what they did with the 50 was a really cool way to do it.
That was cool.
I thought their leaf aspect being incorporated in different logos. The leaf was really cool. This is just a more simplistic version than I thought that they would have went for. But what do I know?
I mean, you made a point about the gold foil. That would be interesting, but
something's gonna make it pop.
I would have made a higher resolution thing, but I don't think that's what this is here. I mean, this is what they're branding on their social media right now. So this is what people are seeing. That's the problem.
For a premium cigar, for a bundled cigar, that I got it. But premium cigar, I'm curious
that's the problem. Exactly, I said.
A lot of people don't know this, but I had my own graphics company. I was a self-taught graphic designer. In fact, I'll still give these guys some pointers and tips here sometimes. And being self-taught, you don't learn a lot of techniques and you don't learn a lot of stylization stuff that you would in a formal education. And it wasn't until I had a customer who's a phenomenal graphic artist. He's done some major packaging for major companies and whatnot. And he's the guy who actually did the Room 101 Big Delicious cartoon strip. He did the Anarchy NFT original art for us. He's a great artist who really sat me down early in my career and gave me a lot of pointers and a lot of tips, and it's molded how I developed. And even just when I'm looking at what graphics my team has done, this looks like something I would have created my first year. That's how I feel. It looks like my early on, not polished, not like I just learned how to fucking wrap a text around a circle, fucking, tool work. Yeah. So
in Microsoft front page.
Yeah.
Seriously.
I agree. That's like Carlos is like, I got to make a fucking thumbnail for the show real quick. Yeah.
And the thing is, like I said, I was joking around about AI free, right? But in reality, you could use AI saying, well, what does the logos look like this out? I mean, that's where you could use AI.
Sure. Yeah. Why not?
Listen,
that would be a good use of AI. Yeah.
We've done that. The Arabian Nights logo for the Great Smoke next year. I was trying to give my vision to our look. Sometimes, especially with a graphic arts background, I can communicate to my graphic artists properly that they can get the vision of what I'm hoping for in a logo or something.
Yeah.
But sometimes it just doesn't click, and I was having a hard time clicking with our graphic designer on what I wanted. Everything he was kind of doing was not close to what I wanted. So I literally went to AI, had him do something, and then I give that to him as a reference, because what AI still hasn't done is able to make anything in vector art yet. I'm sure it will, but when you're doing art, you can't just use AI work, especially if you want to manipulate it, change it, if you want to embroider with it, print on it, blow something up on a larger scale. So you still need a human artist. But that's what I did. I went there, took it to him, he polished it up, made it exactly the vision I wanted. But it helped give me a guide to give him to follow.
Yeah,
sure. No, Listen, that was the original. That was the original King Squatch. Started that way. That was an A. Unfortunately, for that we literally had to make Carlos or I think you have to line it out now because we needed his fucking line as a vector. But that's how it started. But yeah, then you got to give it.
But you can do that with any logo. You can hire somebody to vectorize it. It just takes forever, but you can do it.
Yeah, that's why we got in-house guys. But that's why you can't get rid of the in-house guys.
But that's why you can't just even getting to the point of this is great on AI. It's still you still need somebody. Right. After that to be able to do something, unless you're just making a post for social media or something, but to actually be able to use the that graphic turned into a fucking statue, so
I mean, another example is, I don't think I have one here actually. Shocking. Oh, it might be this one. No, I can't believe I don't have one here.
It's a coin.
Yeah. Another example we had was very, very hard. And it's mostly because Tom and Michelle were not really cooperative.
Oh yeah.
It was very, very hard to make the Year of the Pauses coin this year. I really couldn't get any good photos from them. And then in every one of Tom, I don't know what Tom Pauser is doing, but in every photo, he's like, and it really didn't work for a coin. And
it's hard to do people though. In their defense, it's hard to do people on coins.
It's very hard. So I went to AI. Because the original coin that we almost went to print with, just because I kind of almost gave up on what the artist was doing. Tom was not. You're right, Michelle. Tom was not cooperative. The original coin I almost went to print with, there was nothing I could do. Like I put this poor kid to the grinder, and that was the closest we can come. And then I was in my patio. I was like, let me fucking mess around with ChatGPT. An hour and a half later, I came up with something really, really nice. I had to tweak it. It literally took an hour and a half. And then I gave that to the graphic designer, and that's what ended up on the final coin, which is pretty good at the end of the day. And night and day from the original.
Considering what you had to work with, Tom.
Yeah. Tom wasn't the easiest person to get a photo of.
Oh.
What else you got going on, Coopster?
All right. There's a new Xeno release coming out. If you were at the trade show last year and at the Xeno booth, they had this Xeno Red that they were kind of as an Easter egg in the booth. And they said this is something that's coming out in 26. And now this is going to be the next installment following up Xeno Nicaragua. We now have Xeno Honduras. So this is going to be coming out at the trade show, and it's going to be mostly a Honduran blend. It's going to be available in a variety of like packaging options. So you got boxes, you got 5-packs, you got fresh packs, and you got tins of these coming out. Some of them will have pre-cut, and some of them will not be pre-cut. And what's interesting about this, I remember when Zino Nicaragua came out, you speaking of logos, everyone said, what are they doing here? Zino Nicaragua became a big success for them. Now I'm curious to see if they could follow it up with Zino Honduras with this.
I was going to talk to you about that. So, most people don't know, but Zino was the original Davidoff brand.
Yes.
Right? It's named after the founder. And it's had such a classical look forever, even when they went to the Scepter series and all the and White Label just ate it up alive.
It did.
Zino floundered. They couldn't do nothing with Zino, no matter what they tried. Even when Scepter came out, it had a little spark and then died off. When Crown,
they were good cigars. You're right, they couldn't compete with White Label.
Well, I think the biggest error in the Scepter series was the packaging. Those little dog tins were cool, but they became a pain in the ass, and I just don't think they lasted long enough and worked long enough. Scepter series was popular, but then it died out. And then when I saw the yellow come out, completely curveball. And I'm going to tell you something, and this is just my opinion. It didn't take off. The Zino yellow floundered for a while. I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't really until, and I got to tell you something. He's one of these guys.
He deserves it.
Hold on.
I was going to say it.
He's a goofy character. I've done a lot. I've done work with him.
Law.
Yeah. He's kind of one of these guys.
Law did a great job.
He's kind of one of these guys that wanted to be in the cigar industry but didn't know how. Right? I don't know if you guys knew that he had a YouTube channel.
Great YouTube videos.
Great.
Yeah.
Great YouTube videos. Extremely well done. And then he started selling cigars. He just wanted to be in it. So he was trying to do anything that kind of kept him in the cigar verse. And then I hear Davidoff hires him to be the Zino brand manager. I'm going to tell you something. This motherfucker got in a truck, was traveling the country, going everywhere. He
hit the road.
All over.
Hit the road.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, I don't know if Davidoff ever acknowledged him. If they didn't, shame on them.
They need to.
They
moved him to Camacho. They moved him to Camacho now.
That dude built that brand. And now that brand's got traction, doing well, I think the smartest move is to come out with something like Red now. And I think
I agree.
I think this version of Zino may be the one that survives and lasts.
Yeah. Abe, there were 2 years in a row, the most read review on my site was Zino Nicaragua. There was a lot of traffic with that. And this week, this got a lot of traffic.
You get the new people who are seeing it for the first time, doesn't know anything about it, want to learn about it. And you get the guys who've been following Zino since the original who want to know what the fuck this new brand's about. So you got the best of both worlds with that.
Look, when Davidoff at the beginning of the year released their numbers, and they didn't release all their numbers, but they said something like a 23% increase in Zino. Law was responsible for 21% of that 23. In my opinion.
Without a doubt. And I think he could help Camacho. I think Camacho's going to need some help, and I think he could do now. Hopefully, he could do some magic with Camacho.
It's more on brand for him. He's a great guy. I'm happy for him. He deserves it. He put in the work.
No wonder why I didn't see him at the Great Smoke, because usually he's there with the truck, and I didn't see him.
He's Camacho now.
I didn't know that.
And let me tell you, last year there were people hanging at that truck all outside.
Outside. They left the show to hang out by the truck outside.
I was hanging out at the truck last year. I thought they should have had the truck there this year again. I don't know. Maybe it was someone else.
Nah, they didn't have
the booth. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Law must have demanded they rewrap the truck and make it a Camacho truck now.
He put it on a lot of road.
I don't know if they got anybody else that's employed that's going to hit the road like he did for Zino.
Yeah. The best PCA video I ever saw was done by Law Ream. He did a PCA product video that was kind of in the consumer electronics style. It's still the best video I've ever seen.
Most people don't realize this, though. But when Abe did his interview with Pete Johnson for the Anarchy release, Law Ream did that.
Wow.
That
show. I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
This guy's exceptional. He
so
really is.
Set up in the shop like late night.
Wow, good move. Yeah.
Yeah, Law, what he had going for him is Law has videography and camera background. So unlike a lot of the bloggers, his photography and his videography for whatever he was reviewing was spectacular on point.
Really,
then he had a great voice to go with it.
Yeah.
I mean, why he didn't take off? Why it didn't just blow up? He had all the ingredients to have probably one of the best review sites, video sites
channel.
on YouTube.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think he just couldn't. I think he couldn't find traction enough sponsors for a while.
It's tough, and he was focused on YouTube. I think was the one mistake because YouTube's just not friendly to us.
Yeah,
Right.
And he was just focused on YouTube.
Yeah. So that's very tough.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, in his defense, back then you didn't know you couldn't be focused on YouTube. You didn't know that the plug was being pulled on that.
Exactly.
So.
Right.
Exactly, and he had a good following on YouTube. So I don't want to say he
did.
died.
Yeah.
But a lot of people off of YouTube didn't know who he was.
All right, what else you got going on, Coop?
All right, let's put this one up.
Make flip-flops and scrambled eggs.
Yeah. All right, this is another one I want Abe's opinion on. There's a company called German Engineered Cigars.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
I'm so confused.
Yeah, German Engineered Cigars. They're a boutique company. They've been around for about 8 or 9 years. They introduced a new packaging option on their cigars this week, and what they basically did is
Are you ready, Abe?
Yeah, I don't know if Abe saw this. All right, so what they did is they kind of borrowed something out of the pharmaceutical industry, how they do pills in these blister packs, and they put these cigars in the blister packs for 2 of their lines, and they're gonna sell. They're calling this AKUT, AKUT, which it's a weird name, but that's the packaging option. Nope, there it is. And they're going to be selling these blister packaging things going forward, which I thought was interesting. One thing they're saying is the cigars are really well sealed and they don't need humidification with that. I don't know how easy they're going to be to get in and out of those. That's the question I have. But I was intrigued with. I think a lot of us were intrigued when we saw this week. And I see the Abe hand on the head here, so that's why I wanted Abe's opinion on this.
I mean,
sometimes you just try too hard to make something to be different.
Right.
I'm sure I'm sure a bunch of guys sat around in a room saying, we need to be different. We need to stand out. Oh, hey, I just took some Dayquil last night and I had to pop it out of this pack. Why don't we do that with the cigars? One, I don't know how you get that cigar out without crushing the cigar unless it's an absolutely paper, non-existently thin fucking foil, which means it's not preserving nothing then.
Good point. Yep.
Okay. If it's that thin, it ain't holding in humidity. This is gimmick 101. There's no functionality.
It is gimmick 101.
It's gimmick 101.
There's one piece of functionality if it does this, even though it's not something
humidity?
I would do that. No.
Oh.
Can they break off singularly and can I leave it in the package? Like, can I'm going out. I don't have a box.
Yeah, it's like a pill. It's like pills. You pop them out one at a time. But why the fuck?
No. Not pop them out. Can I break one off still sealed? So it's just
are they separated between the two?
So this way, okay, it's in my pocket. I'm carrying it.
2.0. You just gave him the idea.
Because I mean, that is the one piece of functionality that it could have. Like, all right, this way I can throw it in my pocket. It's not just sitting in, it's better than just a little cello. That's the only thing.
Right. I don't know. If they did a perf line in between each of the cigars,
then it has some.
Yeah, because when you do like a NyQuil blister pack, when you got the empty ones, you don't leave there on. You rip off the empty ones and throw those away.
If I need to take a couple to work with me, I just rip off the 2 and put them in my pocket.
Right. That's what I mean. There you have. But still, again,
good point.
But I'm also not saying I'm going to buy these because of this package.
That's adding a great idea to a bad idea. That's all. That's a great idea that you're putting on a bad idea.
Can you put the picture up again? The one thing I think they missed was I would have made, if you're going to do this, I would have made the boxes where they're stand-up boxes on a retail counter, and you could put those blister packs, and you could kind of display them like that.
So here's my question.
Yeah.
Just call me retarded here, because I'm just thinking like a retailer. I don't know why I would do that. Is that a 10-count box? So they got 2 sleeves of these in a box?
I believe so.
So if I'm a consumer, how do I buy this by the stick?
It is a 10-count box.
Yeah.
It says it on the box. Yeah.
No, it is a 10-count.
I'm not seeing any perforations there. So does that mean I have to sell this as 10 cigars only? Or does my consumer now in my humidor have to pop one out, leave the fucking foil pack in with fucking missing cigars and buy 1 stick at a time?
I think they're perfed. I think I can see lines in there that looks like they might be perfed.
They might be. I don't know.
And to your point, Abe, they'd have to, because if you're on the shelf, someone's going to buy 2 sticks. They're not going to buy the whole sleeve. I got to think they perfed them.
This is a clusterfuck. Consumers trying to rip the shit off, popping one out accidentally. This is a clusterfuck in 10 different ways.
I'm not sure they're perfed. I'm looking at these. Yeah.
Wait a minute. I got a question, Cooper. I got a question because I'm trying to help these guys. Is this a majority European brand? I mean, do they have U.S.
They're more a U.S. brand from what I understand.
Okay,
Well,
then it doesn't really. I was going to say, at least I was going to say, look, if they're more of a European brand, they got those stupid labeling laws anyway. So you might as well make your shit look like a fucking medicine box, because that's basically what the EU laws want you to do. But yeah, in the U.S., this is not.
Yeah,
I've had a couple of their cigars. They're pretty decent. I mean, so I mean, at least that part's passed the test.
This is equivalent to the guy who created the resting box for cigars,
or the bib.
The bib.
Well, the bib. Yeah, the bib. Well, I don't know. I'm not putting it in a bib category yet. I mean, come on.
We really should make a KMA episode just highlighting all the worst fucking ideas in the history of the cigar industry.
We should. I think we should.
And the ones that we were wrong about.
Am I allowed to include the V cut on that?
That's one we were wrong about.
You got to get McTavish on that show. He is the V-cut guru.
I said the Edge in 100 count boxes was the worst idea ever.
But the Edge became a better idea when they put the band on it.
Yeah, but I just didn't think a 100 count box was going to fly on a retail shelf. Yeah. I just thought it was a terrible idea. And you're right, it had no bands on at the time. Yeah. I said this is a flop. Meanwhile, it built the whole fucking brand. I also said when we went from Indian tobacco to Rocky Patel, who's going to buy a cigar named Patel?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
Look at that one.
Yeah. So we've been wrong.
Yep.
Yeah, it does look like a cigar condom.
I'm reserving judgment till I see it at the show.
That may be the line of the night.
Hey, I was wrong about what's that cigar line? I almost didn't want to bring it in. Then our consumers made me bring it in because there were just so many people asking about it. The Leaf.
Oh yeah,
I have, and that's going to be.
Yeah, I thought that was the dumbest idea ever. The second I unraveled one, all I smelled was ammonia because it had no way to escape. People don't understand that a lot of any remnant ammonia escapes through the foot of the open cigar. That's what happens. And it's like I opened up, I smelled ammonia. So it's gonna be terrible. Yeah, fucking took off.
Yep.
And every manufacturer looked at that cigar when it was out and says, "I could have done that."
What else you got, Coop?
One more story.
You ran into it, Abe.
You ran right into it. This goes to Oscar Valadez. Leaf, yeah. But this is not a Leaf release. They are doing a limited edition series at PCA called the Collaborations. And what they're doing is they are partnering with Casa Carrillo to do one blend, Oliva to do one blend, and they're doing one blend. Now, the interesting thing is these companies kind of have a little loose history of working together because all three of these companies were part of Gurkha's Year of the Dragon. Oscar produced the short run for Casa Carrillo, and Oliva produces the Allegiance for Casa Carrillo. So there's kind of this loose tie with these companies already, but each are doing one blend. The Carrillo blends a Habano, the Oliva blends a Cameroon, and Oscar's is a Honduran-centric blend. And they're going to be kind of, I guess they line up as they showed in the picture.
Alex wants to say something. I'm going to let you go
This
first.
Just sounds like a play from his old friend Island Jim. When we had Leaf by Esteban, Leaf by this is almost like the same thing. I feel like
that's except it's maybe less boutiquey this time, but that's kind of why I thought it was a good lead in. Exactly.
Yeah, that's what it reminded me of.
I'll tell you what I find extremely brilliant and extremely frustrating at the same fucking time.
The 3 boxes.
Because one is now you compel every fucking retailer to buy one of each. Right? Because how you just fucking display that?
You can't buy that middle one or that left one, right? Yeah.
The middle one's the only one you can get away with.
If you actually could get away with a little bit, it's got enough. Yeah.
The other 2 you can't. And now what do I do if 2 sell great and one's fucking dog rocket shit and I don't want to carry it anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, they're making it on there for shelf space.
They're making it limited, but still,
marker, right? I
I
They're
like
back
the
with it.
pop on the shelf, though. I mean, I do like
Yeah.
that look of the
I
three
think
coming
it's-
together
I think
like that.
it's
It's
brilliant.
kind of
That
cool.
will look great, Abe, on the front display. New product. That'll look great.
It's brilliant.
Yes.
And frustrating at the same time.
Yeah.
Brilliant and frustrating. I've never been so wowed and so frustrated looking at something at the same time like this.
I think there would have been a way you could have made them all connect without like having the Oscar logo like spread out like that. I think there would have been a way.
I like it spread out. I like it.
Yeah,
I like the look.
Yeah, but I like
Yeah,
it.
but
The problem is,
This
like Abe said,
compels them, every retailer to bring in all three to start.
Of course. Of course.
Kind of genius. But I do see the graphic flaw they made, which bothers the fuck out of me. Put it back up for a second. So as you could tell, you can't see the T in tobacco and you can't see the O because the guy who designed the logo didn't compensate for the space. So they just laid the logo and cut it where it was, where a real guy who knew what they were doing would have spaced it so that all the letters and the spaces would have just been compensated for, and it would look like a whole logo.
Increase the leading between the letters so that you're able to you bring it out wider a little bit. Yeah.
Cut through the logo, right?
Yeah, and you've got extra space on those outside boxes to compensate for a wider. Yeah.
I'll tell you what.
My OCD kicking in.
I'm full of ideas today, but I'll tell you what. Had to really make a leaf tray in this design, just like we have the leaf trays. We have the leaf trays, right? Leaf come in a tray. If you make this in this design, then you're really compelling everybody to buy three, and it just kind of boom, it's a 3-count box.
Yeah,
but I agree with Fred. I think it looks more unique and more eye-catching, not being in a tray that it's 3 boxes linked together.
I agree. You know?
I mean, look,
but great idea.
It's like what Pete Johnson did with the
With
face
the monsters.
one. Yeah, you got the left, you got to get the right. You know what I mean?
Fucking Dan Loomis every time. You got a left-handed one.
Yeah.
And
I like it. I like it.
And the good news on that booth, come to our booth thing, they did put a picture of it on 2228.
Now,
they did.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Because there's always those 1 or 2 companies that I fucking never can understand what the fuck the structure is, who's doing what, we're doing. Did they all combine now? Is it all? There's no more Island Gym. There's no more this. Is it all just now Oscar Valadares?
Yes, Oscar is basically. I think Jim is slowly phasing out, is what I've been told.
So everything now that was Island Gym, that was OV Cigars, that was Oscar Valadares.
Yeah,
now it's all just Oscar Valadares cigars.
Yeah, like about 5 years ago, Leaf was basically like what Pete Johnson was to my father, what Leaf was to Oscar. But now it's all becoming under Oscar. He's got the distribution, and from what I understand, he's taking the ownership.
But let me tell you, it was
they had 3 divisions at one point.
Yes, dude, it was the hardest thing. It was the hardest company to order for. Which one goes? Wait, who? All right, Leaf.
It was Leaf by Oscar. OV Cigars.
Leaf by Oscar is Oscar. But if you want to order Leaf by Esteban, you got to do that from this way. It was a clusterfuck to order.
Yeah, I think they've definitely consolidated that in the last couple of years. From what I understand, like Jim is still involved, but he's like going to slowly be phasing out. From what I heard.
All right. Anything else you got going on?
That's it. It was a busy week.
That was good news.
There it is, my man. Well, listen. Please stay up to date with all the industry news, always teaser and rumor free. Visit our dear friend at cigar-coop.com. All right. What we got? We got a tail of the tape.
Tail of the tape.
Wow.
Episode 1 of the new season.
Here we go.
I
finally get to join one in the beginning.
Nice.
All right. We gotta have Carlos make the full leader.
Yeah, make a thing. I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right, listen, I'll start it off. All right. So again, we are working through the top inventions in our lifetimes, which means we all have different ranges. My range.
Yeah, that was interesting. That was interesting. Your year start what?
82. My year start.
82. Oh, you left out a lot of good.
So I'm actually I have the least of everybody. I have the least,
and I'm 67.
I'm 72.
So as everybody, as Coop and Abe will tell you, this was very hard because there is a lot, and especially for those guys, they're even a little older. So I made a decision. My bottom 5 are a little more lighthearted, maybe, and then my top 5 kind of get more into the, society changing type of things.
The hardest thing I had was, especially being in the era that we're in, I wanted to. It was a real struggle to find non-tech.
Non-tech, non-tech.
I did too.
You could do a top 20 in tech easily.
I think I only have one that's non-tech. Actually,
I struggled to find some legitimate non-tech items, and that was.
I have a few. They're a little more lighthearted, but I have a few. So I'll start. Number 10. I'm going to 1990 with the invention of the Super Soaker, which changed summer outdoor fun.
Wow,
for kids
that's a great one.
Forever. The Super Soaker, number 10 on my list. Changed outdoor fun for kids across the world. And the biggest thing you wanted to do was find the best Super Soaker that held the most tanks and gave the best pump. Super Soaker, number 10. That's how I'm starting.
Go ahead, Coop.
So I had a couple of parameters. One is these have to be physical items. So I didn't put things like the World Wide Web on there, right? Or LASIK, which is a technique. And I also looked at when the item became commercially available. So in a lot of cases, some of this stuff was in like prototype things for years, and I didn't.
Me too. I did that.
I looked when it was commercially available. So number 10 was the video game console for me, and I remember this idea of playing video games on your TV, playing a game on your TV. We used to play games on boards or cards beforehand. This changed Pong changed everything, and the video game console evolved from that. Eventually, it was, they had a Pong console, and then of course Atari came. But I think the video game console changed a lot of things, and that was my number 10.
You see, what's interesting, Cooper? Mm-hmm. That outdates me, so I couldn't put it on my list.
Yes. Yeah. That's exactly what it was. Yeah, because I was like, it was like 70. It was like I want to say like 74, 75 is when it happened. Yeah.
Yeah, with Magnavox Odyssey.
Yep.
First.
So listening to you two, I think mine's way too formal now. Mine's like way too
I didn't want to do everything that like changed the world, and you could certainly do that too.
So mine coming in at number 10, because honestly, I don't think it was the greatest invention, but I took a flyer on this and put it at number 10 because I think everything down the pipeline is going to revolve around this somehow, and it is going to end up being a major invention in our lifetime, is cryptocurrency. It was invented in 2008, first put out in 2009. But some interesting facts about cryptocurrency, which I didn't know. The guy who created it, Satoshi Nakamoto, has never definitively been identified and has disappeared from any public communication since 2010.
What a surprise.
So you wonder if this guy really exists. And the first real world Bitcoin purchase, which was 10,000 Bitcoins, was for what?
$20.
No. What would they buy? They spent 10,000. They spent 10,000 Bitcoins. This is the first purchase.
I thought you meant how much the first. What did 10,000 Bitcoin?
Oh, it was a pizza.
10,000 Bitcoins.
Yeah, it was
10,
a pizza. Right?
It
was a pizza.
2 pizzas.
Yeah, it was a pizza.
Yeah.
Wow.
2 pizzas.
Right. So 10,000 Bitcoin back then was like $30.
Yep.
Exactly.
Right.
That's nuts.
So that's my pick. Fred, we know we gave you a little teaser. What's an invention?
Well, I mean, I'm older than all of you, so I get to go deep. But since I'm in rotation,
you're only 1 year older. You're only one.
I am. But it's a pivotal year because I could pick Super Bowl. I could pick Doritos. I mean, those are 66. You don't get to pick those. So, but since I'm in rotation and I only really get a shot at putting something really good on the list here, I'm going with 1979, and I'm going with the Sony Walkman. Because this is the first time that we actually had, outside of a boombox, personal music that you could leave the house. This is the first time we had headphones that were mobile. We had a Sony Walkman. It was roughly like $200 to buy one. That was a game changer in the world of music outside your home, outside your car, outside carrying a giant boombox around. So I'm going with 79 Sony Walkman. Everything all the way down.
So,
John, I know. Morse code, really? That's not my lifetime.
How many people had the Sony Sport Walkman, that yellow one?
The yellow one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The yellow one.
That was a
Yeah,
one.
yeah.
That was the waterproof one that came out later.
Yeah.
But I think everybody at one point owned that yellow sport Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
I mean, really, the game changer. I mean, that was the game changer, like you said, the Walkman, because you could walk around, you just put your headphones on. You could, some people at jobs or warehouses, whatever, could have them, things like that. I mean, once we could skip music, which was the automatic music sensor that it like read the gaps. That was huge, but that wasn't until the 80s.
Now I feel like I did this all wrong. Now
You got 9 more. You got 9 more.
I know, but because yoga pants would be up there for me if I was going down this route. Fuck, whoever created that shit. That was.
I thought about the mini skirt. It was before me, the mini skirt.
Fred's laughing, but you get it, man. Yeah. Yoga pants. Whoever thought of that shit was great. It's the truth, man.
I made my list wrong. I made my list wrong.
My list wrong, man. Fucking take it too seriously. Fuck. All right. In our normal.
Fred's gonna win the week, buddy. Fred's gonna win the week this week. Yeah, with the vote.
I got one shot. You guys get to wait till like your top 3. I've got one shot until 5 weeks later when I'm on the show. So that was it.
Right.
That was the Sony Sport with the tape. That's why it was waterproof.
Yep.
The yellow one.
Yep. All right. Time to end our show in traditional fashion. It's time to find out. Would you rather?
Don't want to hear about
Alrighty, let's see what our dear friend Pedro has for us. Where is Arius?
Would you rather a light breakfast or a heavy lunch?
This is easy for me because I don't like breakfast. It's a heavy lunch.
See, I don't eat breakfast by nature, but if I had to choose, definitely a light breakfast, man. Because if I eat lunch, I'm done. If I eat a heavy lunch, I'm done. I don't want to do nothing the rest of the day.
I'll go early with the heavier lunch. That's kind of what I normally do.
No, I'm definitely a light breakfast on that one.
This is just like, it's literally the opposite of how I would eat. I eat a heavy breakfast and a light lunch. This is totally the opposite. But if I had to, I don't like a heavy, especially midday. I'm crashing hard. So light
crashing hard. I agree. Fred's like, I eat every meal heavy. What the fuck are you talking about?
I don't understand. I don't understand the question. I will take a heavy lunch because I think the foods are going to be way more interesting. Breakfast foods are not necessarily terribly interesting. So if you're talking about a meal that I'm going to enjoy, forget about the after effect, the crash, all the other stuff. Taking a nap at 1:30. I'm taking the heavier lunch because I'm going to have a more interesting meal.
Yeah, I mean, if I had nothing to do,
right. That's fair. Right.
Is anybody a breakfast guy here?
Nope.
Yes, I'm a heavy.
I made corned beef hash this morning, but I mean, if I'm gonna have a breakfast, I want something like if you go to a Sunday like brunch buffet, I'm eating the lunch foods. I'm eating the prime rib. I'm eating the shrimp. I'm eating the crab. I'm not. Oh, look, here's an omelet station. Oh, big deal. I can do that at home.
I agree with you.
I agree. Yeah. Fred, you remember the time we were at LaFleur and I didn't eat a light breakfast and I had that Oro in Lito's car because I figured we were gonna have this heavy lunch, right?
Do you think Lito trapped you in a car with an Oro by accident without breakfast? Come on.
I got there. Fred thought I was dying. Fred thought I was gonna die.
Because green. Yeah. That messed up your whole day. You weren't good until evening.
I wasn't. It did mess up my whole day. Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, we hope you enjoyed your Saturday mornings with us. We appreciate you all spending it with us. We hope you had fun. We entertained you a little bit. Do not forget, Monday, noon Eastern Standard Time, Mago Vice, probably the coolest release in a long time from anybody, will be dropping noon Eastern Standard Time, smokein.com. Get your Mago Vice on. And until next week, everybody, Fred, thank you for joining us this week.
Thank you.
We have a slew of new hosts coming up in our next season.
Yeah.
A couple of very cool new people will be joining us in the upcoming months ahead. But until next week, everybody, do us all a favor. Keep it lit.